wanted to show that their third place finish in preseason
I am
wasn't just lightning in a
trusting
bottle.
J3.
Okay, Leolas.
You guys act like trusting J3 is a bad thing and something that you guys should never do.
With a game this serious between these two teams, you're not locking Human Torch unless you're like Shikigami.
Chat, if you were on a life or death situation, you needed one person to save your life, you could trust me, right?
To go for the Loki Invisible Woman instead, which does mean that Simba will have the better of the damage output that he can do in neutral as well as the ultimate. So that's why you're seeing a lot of pressure come through onto him to make him uncomfortable so he can't hold the angle and try and snipe someone down.
Warriors Fall is going to be that first area that we're fighting over on the Nim to challenge. Leila's trying to skirt around the areas of the map to make sure that he's not going to get run down by these players from Reason Gaming. Progression on the point is leaning towards Shikigami by a pixel at this rate, as Reason Gaming now starts to feel a lot more pressure. They're fighting in a neutral space like this.
Nice. Come on, Shikigami. Don't let me down. I voted for you guys. Don't let me down.
To try and disengage to stop this ult charge from farming up, but the Seedor is not going to leave any space open. He's going to instantly try to charge them down. Reason Gaming have to give up a lot of this control, and Shikigami sitting comfortably on 15%.
But they keep Passo alive, which means that Banhammer will be in effect in this next fight. It will be used almost instantly and shreds down Frost Mountain. That was Sedation coming over from Mantis at the same time, which means that Shiki now don't have the Daredevil to go try and slow Reason's approach. Regeneration Domain is as best as they can safely kite, and giving up a little bit of space, but still playing the high mobility of their heroes to hold on to the point to preserve the point %.
There's still like Reason Gaming wanted to fight.
I like how both dinosaurs are just slapping each other and nothing's dying.
He's going to be back into the fray at this rate, but Passero after the Banhammer, not much has followed afterwards. As the Ensong Inferno is going to come crashing down.
Oh, one dinosaur did die.
Finally for Shikigami, but the leap forward is going to be there with an Ensong Inferno of their own. Instantly trying to go for the lateral connection onto Simba, who gets taken out.
What
notably winning out the fight, but more importantly,
what a hit, bro! What a hit!
I mean, they just have so much mobility. The Cap and the Daredevil can go and split into Reason's back line. Kaya can hold the front line down, but Eastor is way too far forward, gets punished for it, and now falls, and that was with Freedom Charge intact. Shiki do still have double strategist ults to be able to fight this one out, so if the fight goes long, you could actually see this start to tick into overtime, which is not something that Reason want to have happen, because if they have to use all their ultimates to match, they won't have anything for any of the fights that occur after, and because they're not going first, Ryan, Eastor's already back and putting pressure on Reason, splitting the team's attention and meaning they're just not in a position to make a play on point.
There's no catalyst of plays here, so it's being stalled out in the end, but overtime is going to be forced out from Reason Gaming as much as these other ultimates are going to start to come through too. But Mischief is going to move ever so slightly and neatly in for Cap's invisible boundary to allow Shikigami to keep fighting this, but the eliminations are not coming through as the sustain is going to come in from both sides. Freedom Charge is going to allow Shikigami to take this fight a little bit more into the
Captain America, every time I watch him, he's just holding his shield and he's jumping around and just screaming assemble.
To keep this fight going,
do Captain America players actually do anything besides run around?
Might be starting to run out of fuel here if it wasn't for the let the devil out. Unfortunately, they lose on one of their frontliners as it's going to be the Dino going down.
Nice movement by Frost Mountain. Oh my god. That guy's movement is insane on Daredevil. Oh my.
Get the point and they flip it.
Saw that?
But look at the point % that Reason are up against. They have to make the damage boost pocket on this Phoenix work, because if they let Shiki build up ultimates in long drawn fights, they'll just be able to rotate to point, threatening a back cap with the Cap, and then force Reason to have to take the fight when they don't have ultimates to be able to match. This is absolutely a duel of power between Simba and Leolas at the moment.
See who blinks first between the celestial beings.
Nice shot. Looks like me out there, chat. Oh, wait, he does look like me out there. What was that? I mean, I know what he was trying to do, but damn.
The hits on, but he can't quite get the picks, or at least the sparks to connect. Trying to take some of that fight and engagement over. His full focus is going to be on the Devil Dinosaur as an easy target to make sure that these sparks keep hitting. And when it's two dinosaurs fighting against each other on this setup, it feels like whoever's going to be the one to be going down might spell disaster for his team, but Reason Gaming are holding on. Rampage is now going to be used as Rose has managed being able to pick it up, and Lynch Lindstrom has to go for the God of Mischief copy. Cap has hers available ready in hand when it starts to drop out, so the duration is going to provide a lot for Reason Gaming. With their triple strategist, how did they find a pick outside of these big ultimates from Simba? It seems that nobody's going to go down in these fights as the Venn diagram has been drawn for us on Warrior Falls, and the Rampage is now going to start to come in from Kaya's side. Everybody's forced back from Reason, but they have their own ultimate to go in off the Mantis.
Bro, nothing has been dying for the past,
train keeps the flowing.
Yeah, and we'll get the matchup.
No. Yo, Shikigami, bro, what are we doing, man? You cannot be dying right now, Shikigami. I have a lot of channel points riding on this shit.
Scout out where Easter is, trying to put some of this pressure. Good Guardian Shield is called, and Rosa to be able to go put even more pressure on the Vanguard and force the ultimate early, which means that Relaxing just uses their ultimate to be able to match, and Pathwo now gets the only sustainability ultimate to hold on through against Shiki's pushing powers.
Okay, there we go. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see.
Laylas takes Rashed down though, and Reason now are reduced to just the Mantis and the Fox Heals.
Yeah, Laylas has managed to build up his ultimate a lot faster than Simba and actually get to pick for his troubles too, as Frost Mountain wants to try to go in and clear out any stray members of Reason Gaming. Now that they're starting to dwindle in numbers, there might even be the portal play required from Rack.
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see.
From Shikigami, it does flip just in time, but it means that overtime is going to be at least confirmed and a bit more of a window for Reason Gaming. They want to go for this portal, but they want to make sure that they have the numbers in order to do so, because they're expecting big AoE ultimates.
Huge! Yeah, that's when they all have to funnel through there, popping that ult right, had to be, yeah, that's massive. Hey, all Shikigami needed was a little bit of support and, like, you know, a little push from J3, bro.
Okay, this... With these comps, this is going to be a very, very long, brawl-heavy domination round. I mean, huge play to Reason. The fact that they were able to actually sustain through 2 casts of Invisible Boundary with only the matchup.
I'm never good, bro. Why is everyone asking me if I'm good?
They don't have the Loki
chilling,
regeneration domain to hold their space up against it is truly
Do I not
showing
look
how good they are at cycling those base
Is there something
cooldowns,
off with me today?
and really importantly as well, not giving fully up on point presence, with one of their Vanguard players always being able to anchor that position, and they'll double down on that. Pathwo has had enough of playing aggressive into the backline. He's just going to now try and supply
you guys telling me if I'm okay is not going to make me okay.
So you can overwhelm Kaya.
Lindstrom not being eliminated says a lot, I think. Reason Gaming not having the dive to chase down some of these more heal-centric strategies.
We are worried that you're getting older each day, and it really shows. Oh man, I can't wait until I get older and I start forgetting things. Because there's going to be one day where I get to ban Yoon as a joke and completely forget that I accidentally banned you as a joke, and then like you'll never be unbanned.
Yeah, well, Reason did not really have a lot of avenue for peel outside of just the strategists and the duelist, right? So Pathwo being on the cap was always playing in Shiki's side of the map, was not able to really bail the rest of his team out. Now he has the opportunity to do both. He can play aggressive on the front, or he can play close to the back line and try and babysit when Isidore and Frostmine can show up to play. As Kaya comes on through with the Rampage, Rosa will go for the match. Lindstrom, though, holding the winning
grab the guy, throw him down there, and he has to jump back up. I love it. Oh, grab him again, throw him back down there. He has to jump back up. Bro, look at him down there. He looks like me, trying to get like to the cookies, bro. Oh look, the other guy's down there.
But that one elimination seems to have spelt the end for Reason Gaming wanting to fight this one. Similar story to the first point of this objective, as we're in the Science Institute, and the rest of Reason Gaming not able to completely escape. It's going to be a bloodbath as the picks are found as Shikigami banks some more ultimates for their troubles.
They'll be relentless too. Like, they know that Reason will have Invisible Boundary, but if you can force that on rotation before Reason are actually on point, Shiki will just be able to have the rest of the team disengage it, and Kaf potentially does not even need to use her ultimate to be able to match. So Isto's already being very aggressive. Layla's waiting on the off angle for the amount of disruption this Captain America can potentially sow the seeds of into Reason's comp, as they'll go up onto the high ground, trying to get as close as possible to the point to be able to get good use of the Invisible Boundary when the fight goes long. There's the Endsong Inferno paired with the slow.
How's the old school screw? Oh, bro, it's going so slow, man. I don't get it.
Potential sustainability of the Soul
I'm level 95.
the Dino, which means that Reason are pulling ahead of this fight. Ensong Inferno erupts as Frost Mountain tried to make a hero interception moment to keep his backline up.
He needed to find something whilst Reason Gaming are trying to flip the point over. It's still in hands of Shikigami, and it was that only elimination that went up against Kaya. Freedom Charge for Isidore might struggle to keep him alive now as he's pretty low on HP, but he hasn't gone down. There's no follow-through for Reason Gaming right now as the regeneration domain is going to be used from Lindstrom, who I think is still not
how the heck did that even...
able to survive in the chaos, and now he's got a giant fox running at him potentially.
Doing it easily at the fishing guild, just getting sharks.
Braxing is a little bit more stressed as he's unable to actually fight.
Oh my god, wait, that was actually a huge play.
Give up 0.%. Fish potentially for a late pick from Leolaz with just the damage potential onto Reason Squishies when that hold up on the
putting the fox down there so they can't heal, that's actually pretty crazy.
Some of these fights have been going, and Reason don't yet have ultimates. So Shiki have to be very careful the poke that they're doing. Reason also have to be very careful the poke damage that Simba does right now, because Cap and Lindstrom will just be fishing, baiting the damage so they can channel it into strategist ultimates and walk uncontested onto the objective to force Reason to match up into a brawl they simply cannot afford to survive.
And it's a case of trying to work out where this Daredevil is from Frost Mountain as he's moving his way through. There's the, again, across the sky approach with the Ensong Infernos. We're seeing a lot more tech really start to be used from these teams to get the most out of these ultimates, but it doesn't lead to an elimination, but it does lead to Shikigami losing one in the end, as Simba might be able to put a little bit more pressure on. Might not even be needed with that ultimate just hovering around the 95% mark, as all of Shikigami have to go down. They have to reset as the honors are looking a bit more even.
Yeah, that's a crucial fight.
Yo,
win for Reason. That
Shikigami.
means that Rashad will be able to have invisible boundary to match
Lock
Caps,
it in,
and
bro.
we've already seen from the last fight on Falls that Reason have more than enough sustainability and just playing their positions on point, bouncing the control of it to be able to match up into the Loki double copy. Frost Mountain scouting out, wanting to put the pressure on with Let the Devil out to potentially force the invisible boundary early, which means that Shiki will be able to hold off in the long-term fight.
Rampage is going to start off this engagement for Shikigami that are looking to try to dive on in and keep this bunkered through. Frost Mountain isn't going to go for an avenue or a flank. He's just tried to block some of this damage back at the enemies of Reason Gaming setup. It's a little bit hard to
Yo, Shiki, what are we doing, bro?
Going to be the one that gets eliminated in this case. Now Shikigami starts to look a little bit more flummoxed with the ultimates required, as Let the Devil Out is going to be used alongside this visible boundary to make sure that this is a strong area for Shikigami to keep on fighting on this point. Still in favor of Reason Gaming though, however, and that wick is starting to burn at a pretty scary pace now. Invisible boundary.
Jay, you good? Stop asking me if I'm good, chat. I'm gonna go crazy.
For the most part,
I'm not good right now. Shikigami needs to win this.
It's gonna matter all that much this time around, as Simba is absolutely churning through the numbers.
Ooh, 23
elimination
HP.
feed is Rose this time, however. The freedom charge used from Isidore unfortunately gets off the point as we go to point 3.
Yeah, we take off and head to Stellar Spaceport, as honestly, Reason swapping to the Emma has breathed new life into not just their front line, but their back line as well. Like, so many times they were getting picks off onto Shiki's dive before the dive could actually get the space to be able to commit. Frost Mountain knows
I'm
the
not
information
good
of where
right
Reason are
now,
playing,
bro.
but Reason also get the heads up of knowing that there's a Daredevil headed towards them, so no one splits off and isolates themselves to make an easy target. They all just stack up and play counter dive with both the Invis, the Mantis, and the White Fox, all
chat.
having CC to
I don't
want to
be like one of those guys who...
And 10 final hits for Simba. I mean,
or like a downer, but Shikigami won the first point, then they lost the second one. Theoretically speaking and statistically speaking, if you don't win the first one and you don't, if you win the first one and you don't win the second one, you usually lose the series. So Reason Gaming might take this.
And then back onto the Invisible Woman you go, and there it is.
To be honest with you, they just shut down Simba. If they shut down Simba, Shikigami would roll. Simba is the only one doing anything right now, in my opinion, on Reason.
In one fell swoop, if it does not get melted by Simba.
These first fights have mattered a lot, and Reason Gaming have lost all of them so far, at least able to turn it around on the Institute of Science point 2, but the first point, very much not the case whilst it was
Swap! Appreciate massive 6 months, my friend. How you doing? How you doing?
Space to go in for these dives and try to hit from the various different paths is going to be traded out in the end, as it seems
they have to kill Simba, bro. Someone has to hit Simba.
Against Layla's, it would do a lot in this fight, as Reason Gaming very close.
Someone has to hit Simba, bro.
Hits onto multiple, it's not going to matter too much. much. Shikigami have to back up. They want to try and reset if they
Someone
can.
has to hit
And
Simba,
Riza
bro.
Gaming for the
Simba
first
is
time
killing
take the
everything.
point
He's
first.
hitting every single shot.
In the past, which means likely around 50%, even more potentially, picked up on the side of Reason, especially if they can play Simba. You can see him here just checking those off angles.
My hairline likes you too.
One-sided
Appreciate
Daredevil available for Shikigami, so Reason have to go through the scouting stages of marking each individual lane to keep their backline safe and match up to where Frost Mountain could play.
Well, it's interesting. Shikigami have changed up this composition, feeling like a pivot to another Vanguard. Like the Emma Frost is not going to do too much. It's done plenty for Reason Gaming, and they're 2/3 of the way of building up that Sonic Seduction. Trying to sort of scarp and make sure that these dive Vanguards aren't going to get much of the C-Dog goes down. While Shikigami are trying to set up, they're trying to open up
Or maybe
this
because
area
it's
of
hot,
the
Ice was not.
to see if they could get a little bit more, but all they have found
Ice
is
was in
gaps
class.
to be exploited as Reason Gaming seem to have just churned all the way right through Shikigami, and they're forced to reset again.
I mean, they're just melting
A
the
Bratty
cap,
Devil
which
Girl
means
for
that
46
Shiki's
months. Appreciate it,
dive
appreciate it.
has no threat to it. The cap's not creating space. You're not occupying the attention of the strategists long enough for Eastor to be able to make a move on Basilor, who is just stalwart on the objective as that Emma Frost. Shikigami do have ults to be able to play with. Kaya off of the cap goes to the Venom, so more back cap potential, shielding as well, but it leans, well, less space created for Frost Mountain when he tries to find the opening in the back line, and he falls for it.
Seems that this
Bubba,
setup has
please
been
tell
so
me
good for
everything's
Reason
gonna be
Gaming
okay.
Once they have the freedom to actually push out, and Frost Mountain has struggled to actually close that distance to make things a lot more chaotic. Kai switching over towards
Chat,
Venom.
stop
It's
saying
late
that
in
you're
the
not going
day,
to
you could
financially
say,
recover
as
from
it's
this.
the
The
only
game
change
is
that
not
Shikigami wanted
over.
to have made so
Stop
far.
bringing
And looking at these
the bad
ultimates is about to
juju.
get a little bit more turbulent
They
over
have
on
the
port,
ults.
as
Oh, Reason
is
Gaming
sat
has a lot of
back on
ults too. They
two
just need to
big
shut down
ultimates.
Simba,
The
bro.
Seduction is gonna be used
And I
first,
think
so
that's
almost
what
stop
I think that's
Shikigami
what
to
Frost
go and
Mountain's
fight
trying to
this
do,
one.
but
There's the
Frost
Shikigami
Mountain's dead.
have made this play multiple times, but it hasn't amounted to too much, as it's both of these Ensog Infernos held in hand from Leolus and Simba, because neither want to use it, whilst these strategists are still in play with this amount of sustain.
That's fine. Shikigami wins. Shikigami wins. I can feel it, bro. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm getting that tingling sensation.
This time, as this fight could be major.
They try to go for Simba again, but Simba ulted.
To come through, but neither have led to any elimination. Shikigami still don't have the numbers on point, as it's going to be a little bit later in the day for Kai to actually go and fight this, but Leolus has found the trade in the other side.
Kill Simba!
Rampage now for Rosa is going to be joined alongside the Fox as the ground is about to shake. The
Kill
foundations of Reason
Simba!
Gaming's domination run might lead all the way to this, as Shikigami are still losing out on the numbers. There's very little to work with. Feast of the Abyss has to be used from Kai to just keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but it is only seconds. Reason Gaming find themselves a reverse sweep, and Shikigami lose on Benim.
It's the safest choice as well from Reason to use both Dino and Kumeho ults when you get them, because playing retake into the composition that Shiki has, you might not even be able to get back onto the point with your whole team intact. To
the
be
prediction's
able to take a 6
not
versus
over. Stop being a downer.
See where the series is going.
Listen. What team did you vote for? You voted for Reason? Listen. Don't drink from the styrofoam. But don't drink from the styrofoam. Hear me out, chat. This is all part of the plan, bro. It's all part of the plan. So what I was just, I literally called Shikigami's CEO and I was like, hey, yo, what are you guys doing right now? They're like, hey, we're going to lose the first game to make it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun for the viewers. But then we're going to bring it back to our second map. We're going to pick the map. We're going to win on our map choice. And then they're going to win map 3. I just had a conversation with them. Emily can confirm, right? You said yes. They were like, hello, who's this? People know who I am. Right? I never had that. That's fine. Ooh, okay. That tastes like alcohol. It tastes like I got a little bit of alcohol in there. Here, hold up. Let me I gotta trust my. There's a process to all this, chat. Let me show you guys. There's a process to all this. Ready? Will Shikigami win against Reason? Magic 8 Ball says, better not tell you now. Does J3 lie to us? The Magic 8 Ball says, outlook good. Holy shit, wait, the break is 4 minutes long? Oh my goodness. Magic 8 Balls, the J3 curse still alive. The Magic 8 Ball says, outlook good. I'm pretty sure it works in YouTube chat as well. Is the J3 curse real? The Magic 8 Ball says, as I see it, yes. What? Will I financially recover from listening to Jay's advice? My response, my sources say no. Listen, Magic 8 Ball doesn't even tell you the truth anyways, chat. I tell you the truth. Who are you guys gonna listen to? Some robot that gives you random answers, or J3, who's an actual person who will give you real advice? You literally asked a Magic 8 Ball if Magic 8 Ball is lying, and it literally says the signs point to yes. So you guys are all trusting a robot who's going to blatantly lie to you over me. Look at all the bullet holes in them now. Pretty cool skin. Was there sound effects? Let's hear it.
Hurry up. Bombs away. Maximum pulse.
Ooh, that's a pretty cool highlight intro. I like that. Iron Samurai and Mandy. Oh.
You made me angry. We are undefeatable.
What happened? Yeah, that Mantis skin looks, pretty interesting. Sorry, I was
Lead
looking
your
at
allies with grace, but
I was looking
spare
at
no
her,
mercy
like,
for those
her
who cross
antennas.
You can now command the battlefield in style with Iron
Why
Man's
was there someone
Iron
grabs
Samurai
them and just, like, breaks
Mantis'
them off, chat?
Mandy,
Ooh.
Celestine, the Greeter's costume. You can leave your mark forever etched into eternity. Those are available right now. So head on
Like
into game.
if you were
hit
in a
Call of Glory.
fight,
It's time to
like
show them
an actual
what you're
fight,
made of.
and you're
Just as
fighting
Reason
someone,
have
why couldn't
shown
someone
us
just go?
what they're made of.
You know what I'm saying?
Taking that first map versus Shikigami in the closest game we've had today, and one of the closest series we have had all of stage 1, Ryan.
It's pretty much what you would want to see, and like Shikigami, we expect them to be sort of favorites to make playoffs, right? With a 3rd place finish in preseason and a group without First Pro and now. You would say the Shikigami should be making it. It would be crazy not to. But Reason Gaming had an awful preseason. It was turbulent with the amount of roster changes they made, but now starting to find their feet. The meta's been a little bit awkward for them to deal with, but they have actually found themselves First Blood here.
First Blood is exactly what they got, and having a look at the MVP, it was kind of tough to decide who it was because there was, as Moxie mentioned earlier, a really impactful Emma swap that did some great work. The strategists on the backline were doing huge, but Simba just making sure that Captain America had the worst day of his life since he went into the ice. It was just too much nonsense.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see a Phoenix or a Mantis ban in the future cards of map 2, which I feel like if you're Reason, you're sort of happy about because that does free up other avenues, things like the Loki that we've already said. And I think like for me, we got to see what basically a week of time between week 2 and week 3 has allowed Reason to be able to pull off because they looked a lot more comfortable, they looked a lot more coordinated when it came to Stellar Spaceport, to the point that Simba was just getting so much freedom to be able to do what he wanted with the damage boost and truly make it count.
Listen, I'm just a streamer, bro. I stream the game.
Even in the last series, we saw Reason.
I don't make
well,
the decisions of what characters
their
get what skins or
coming
what
into
character
this,
even gets
their
a
level
skin.
of improvement. Even though they had a solid start to the season as well, taking the 2-0 versus Fire, but then losing 2-0 to Heretics. But it feels like they're just getting stronger and stronger.
I mean, yeah, you'd expect to sort of see that because you haven't got like these roster changes in, but you've also like found Simba that played a little bit in preseason, but not all that much. He's now really cemented himself as a strong duelist to sort of involve. Nocta's become a lot more flexible, and with triple strategist looks good. But also like Rashid and Relaxing, like they've come in as this backline, and it felt so hard to actually get a pick on the side of Shikigami. And Frost Mountain is an exceptional daredevil, but he couldn't find those openings with how well played Reason Gaming were, with how they positioned and coordinated off of each other. It was stellar work.
I mean, before we swap off these stats, I just want to draw everyone's attention to the damage disparity between Rosa and Isidore.
The game is not over till it's over, chat.
To Emma
it's a best of 3. Even if you lose the first one, are you going to give up? No, you can still win the next 2.
And something else that's also very interesting. Leolas did not have the Mantis, so no damage boost.
What's your name?
But he actually
Kangaroo
outmatched Simba's
Nipples.
damage by 10,000. The difference is
Appreciate
that
the massive
Simba's
Prime
was
sub.
obviously very
J-Mac for 2
concentrated
months. Appreciate
instead of going on to targets who got healed up by the triple strategist line from Reason.
What?
You can actually see this in
Why
the damage
Kangaroo
blocked.
Nipples?
88k damage blocks. The majority
Ari,
of the
appreciate the massive 2 months, my friend.
Whereas Kaya, who was on the Captain
What?
America,
Out of all the
sometimes
animals out there, why Kangaroo?
81k. Because
Now
they were
I am
just being bullied
very-
as well. Both times they were trying to put the pressure on. The
I'm
Phoenixes
very
were
interested.
bullying them
What
as best
do
as they could.
Kangaroo
As such, Reason take the lead in this
nipples look like?
series. It's going to be Shikigami's map choice to try and bring it back to
Sorry, it's using all my bandwidth, chat. I don't know why we're a little delayed here.
a 1-1. Ryan, where would you like to see Shikigami take us, and why is it Museum of Contemplation or Hall of Jalia?
It's absolutely not Museum of Contemplation, but Reason Gaming will be happy for that as well. I mean, they went for stuff like Symbiotic Surface, like at points too. So like Shikigami are not afraid to get weird with it with their choices. But outside of that, you got Central Park. They're going for Spider Islands, which we haven't seen so far in
Also,
ESO.
there's nothing wrong
They
with
wanna force
me
using it
searching
somewhere
up
a little bit more unprepared
and getting educated.
We
It's
love to
it's
see
an
it. We love a
animal,
little
chat.
bit of variety
Stop
at
being
this same
weird,
map
bro.
where we've seen some very interesting stuff from them in the past.
And going back to the playoffs for Shikigami, well, they beat Heretics on it, and they lost against Heretics on it. And I remember, sorry, Tanuki, you've had a good day so far. I remember Tanuki falling off the map a couple of times as well. So there's always that to watch out for. If you're Frost Mountain for the draft, it seems Devil Dinosaur is going back to being that Protect with the first ban. And Reason Gaming definitely don't want to let Frost Mountain get his hands on Black Cat either.
Yeah, I will say going Spider Islands does open the door for a lot of different comps. Like Dive still very, very strong. Brawl very, very strong, especially on the amount of like first points you're going to be fighting 6 versus 6 on main. You also do have to worry potentially about flyers like Ultron, Star-Lord, Torch coming through, plus this being a convoy. You've obviously got the free Adam strategies with the Loki, as we are absolutely flying through the draft. And Reason get that rocket, which means that Shikigami, do they ban out the Loki here, or do they target the Star-Lord that the rocket will be able to empower?
There's so many like flying options, I think, with how you could play this first point in the end. But yeah, Mantis has been banned out, so there's no one-sidedness for Reason Gaming. They feel that that's important and don't want to actually allow the side of, in this case, for like Reason Gaming, if they're going to try and play around like a triple strategist composition with the rocket, that they're not going to get the access to Jean Grey and it's going to be one-sided.
Mantis banned from Reason, I'm expecting now. One-sided Phoenix with Mantis damage boost, not a fun concept to have to fight into, especially because Loki Groot are all still currently available.
Yo, Cake Code, appreciate Massive Prime sub. How you doing?
Decide to remove Lunar Snow. Okay, so Shikigami get the Mantis through, but this is the crucial thing, right? They had Mantis open in the last round, but they did not play it. So potentially Reason think it's actually more valuable banning out the Luna, because Shiki would absolutely play both the Luna and the
I feel like the casters, I mean, they're probably used to it, but I feel like the casters don't actually want to be on camera when they're doing the ban phase. I actually do prefer, in my opinion, when we're actually watching the game for the ban phase, because you get to see all the moving icons and all the other stuff, and I don't know, it's a little interesting.
It's, yeah, I think like when you expect the 2-2 to maybe come out on the side of Shikigami, which Frost Mountain is already on the Daredevil, so it makes sense. Last time that we saw Spider Islands,
I went all in, Jay. I'm about to lose it. Chat, you're not gonna lose, bro. Watch, trust.
So maybe it's just swapping like one melee character out for another, as it is going to be the side of Shikigami attacking first on their map choice.
Yeah, looks like Reason are going full stall strats. I saw Adam, I saw Loki, we're doing double
trust, chat, trust. Also, it's not Museum of Contemplation, which is a W.
When we head to the later stages of this map, as Simba denied the burst DPS carry of Phoenix, we'll go for the duelist second best option of the Elsa.
Shikigami hoping to try to bring this to a full best-of-3 series and confirm a spot in the playoffs. Reason Gaming 1 foot in the door already. Seeing if they can get the job done today instead of leaving it up to other results. Nocta, yeah, is on the Adam Warlock. Like, we're seeing teams move away from him naturally, and already they seem to have lost Simba that was over at the Elsa. The composition's an odd one, but Reason Gaming losing out on their main damage dealer is not going to look good. The Vera back was also used up, so it means that there's a few more players that have to make that trek.
Well, Soul Bond comes through from Nocta, so Reason can try and walk forward and at least part ways on the objective to be able to stall it out for Simba to get the strange portal swap coming on through.
He cancelled.
And he did, yep. He cancelled.
He did that. Yep, he did. He didn't ult in spawn, but he's deciding against it.
Yo, chat.
What's cancelled, so it's got to go on cooldown, right?
I guess.
You know what? Hey, that's fine. That's Reason Gaming's, like, you know, stuff. They have to deal with it. I'm just glad that Shikigami is getting all this push, man.
The Zootopia backline, Rocket to be able to set up Nocta, who's now moved on to the Star-Lord, and playing very split, which means that when Hand of Country comes through from Frost Mountain, it's likely just going to be on the point itself to clear Reason's presence off of contesting.
And Frost Mountain's been taken out on the Moon Knight, so one of
move the camera? Oh, shit.
Is unavailable, but Leonis has been absolutely feasting with the picks that he's been able to grab up.
Simba, however,
that means that Daredevil is going to be back into the fray as Nocta switching over towards the Star-Lord has found himself a neat and tidy too. The barrage is going to try and connect on, but you've got the Venom trying to chase from Kaya. He's going to try to out-sustain this engagement and just dash out of the fray if he can, but he's immediately met by Simba that's trying to claw a good chunk out of him and try to protect whatever time is left, because Reason Gaming struggled on the start of this map. They found their footing.
Well, the teleport cancel means that Reason aren't stuck on a composition that they would not otherwise want to play, especially since you've got Galactic Legend and Shiki swapping their strategists now means that you don't have a defensive ultimate against this. So out comes Galactic Legend.
Dude, I don't know how I feel about that.
Some of the
that grappling tech.
so far away from the rest of his team, he goes down.
Cedar, he just tanked so much of that Galactic Legend, and now he might actually have to try to Scarper to get out of the way. His Rampage is going to allow Cedar to find that pick. Layla's
I don't even know what we're
using the
watching right now.
Inferno as a disengage, not to go for the picks themselves, as there seems to be that advantage now leaning for Shikigami on the attacking side. Simba's back into the fray, but just as he gets involved in the fight, they lose out on Rosa that just got the Rampage in hand.
Yo, Shikigami, bro. Shikigami, what are we doing, man? Listen. Shikigami, bro. I need you guys to lock it in here, brother.
Making this a very messy first point, and Shikigami's early advantage that they had seems to be switching towards the other side. They're actually able to get the point over this first checkpoint, however, but a good portion at least bought up for the time back.
Yeah, that might have been a different outcome if Paso had been able to come through a freedom charge, but
my wife and kids are leaving me because of you,
maybe
Jay.
Calf was able to come on through with the Spectral Surge Charm to take him down before the ultimate could be
Bro,
used.
that's fine. Let them leave, because when you win this channel point bet and you become a bajillionaire, it's all for yourself.
Gets fully cleared on out, won't be able to hit into the strategist to try to force some of those resources before the fight begins. Reason slowly taking all of the space back. Freedom charge going to allow him to run straight at Shikigami, but no overextension, which means that Nocta is going to be able to use the teleport to flank fully into Shiki's back line with very little punishment.
You got Sham though, I think, and there's the leap in from Frost Mountain as Reason Gaming will try to set up with the aggressive freedom charge. He didn't force out any ultimates for Shikigami. Instead, waited for them to get comfortable and then led them in right into the trap. So the fight has gone very nicely for Shikigami. Reason Gaming losing out on their vanguards multiple times, switching over towards the Venom to have that Rashid team up with the Jeff. Now, Reason Gaming wants to sort of build some ultimates to try and go in for this fight.
Well, it will be engaged with Galactic Legend or Rampage to force the Invis Boundary. Shiki have to give up space. If they use Invis Boundary now, Nocta will get his ultimate through for free. Clutch teleport off of the Rocket team up iframe means that Nocta survives, but Rosa has fallen. Reason tried to commit. Invis Boundary's already off the table, but I think they have to wait for their dino before they fully decide to use the Starlord ult.
There's the Galactic Legend sleeping through. You got the Buddy Barrier trying to block some of this damage, and even the leaping from Frost Mountain to try to mitigate it, force himself as the target. And it might have actually pulled some space for Shikigami as Layla's has been finding these eliminations.
Come on, bro. I need you guys to win this, man. I need you guys to win this. I need them to win this.
With very little to deal with it, and the teleport was able to be used, at least for Nocta, to keep himself alive, but everybody else is starting to drop now as lighting up the elimination feed. Back is going to be extended. There's no chance in hell for Reason to stall this one out again as we move on to
Reason just don't have enough damage to be able to punch through the strategist.
If Shikigami wins this map,
backline. Both the Rocket and the Jeff, like Jeff healing, not a lot.
I'd be so happy,
Ultimate,
chat.
More about fueling aggression, and without the Phoenix, you don't have the one-shot potential paired with Ensong, so they're swapping away from it. Relaxing goes on to Loki instead. Passo back onto the Emma, since it worked so well last map at being able to shut down Eastor's rampages, as Nocta moves on to the Bucky, trying to punish Shikigami when they stack up, but also play counter against both the Daredevil and the Venom.
Nocta's about jump onto Frost Mountain whilst he's trying to go for these flanks again, but it seems that every elimination that Reason get is either traded or added onto from Shikigami at this point. Isидor's taking a lot of damage, so Feast of the Abyss is going to be used to try to pull back these strategists, to box them in and try to protect each other, and now Let the Devil Out is going to try and make the concentration.
Nice. Kill him, please. Kill him, please.
Camille Unleashed as a response, which then provides the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, which then provides the Ensong Inferno. These teams are so intimate with each other, they almost know the next moves at this point. Invisible Boundary for Shikigami is going to allow the attacking side to keep this progression moving, but Psychic Seduction might pull everybody right into the teeth and claws of Rosa as a Rampage is now starting to catapult this way right into Shikigami. The front line and back line, it's all mashed into one. They're in a tight
Come on, guys. Come on. No, that's not good, bro. That's not good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's not good. That's not good.
That's not good. From Frost Mountain is almost being kept in stock as Reason just find no way to go into this engagement with Nocta switching over towards the Winter Soldier.
I mean, BRB brings him back, so he's fully on the front line in position to use the Kraken Impact. Problem is that Shiki just are not playing in a position.
Come on, you have to kill him. You have to kill him before they get support ults. You have to kill him before they get support ults. No!
Frost Mountain unable to use any ability. Someone's got to get on point. Reason dead desperately trying to put their players into it. You can see Rosa with the buddy Barry just trying to hold the space as Nocta desperately turns around to fend Kaya off. Frost Mountain's coming back on the Iron Fist of all things to be able to use the health percentage damage.
Now we're on Iron Fist?
To Shiki to refresh their numbers and match up against Reason's proximity of spawn.
I've never seen a case of just spamming hold, but Reason Gaming are doing their best. The amplifier is going to help with only 20 seconds left.
Rocket is so annoying, Chad. That res that you can have every 45 seconds is just broken, man. Get a pick, doesn't matter. Redo the it's basically a free redo button.
Shy of actually being able to match this Yan amplifier, which is why it was respected so much. Hoping for the hooks to get the picks in the invisible boundary.
Oh, it's 40. It's 40 seconds. Oh, I thought it was 45. Wow, that's even worse.
But there's Frost Mountain with the Iron Fist. Finds one.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I didn't even doubt the Iron Fist. Yo.
And Reason Gaming run out of steam. Shikigami on their map choice push it all the way to third.
Yeah, Cosmic Yawn Amplifier just comes.
Come on, Shikigami. All you guys gotta do is close it out. Come on, man. If you guys win this, I will scream without the S.
They know as well that
Come on.
they'll be able
You guys got this.
push before Relaxing gets God of Mischief up because they're ready to go. They've already got
Come on.
invisible
All I
boundary,
need you guys
so
to do is hold, bro. All you need to do is hold. If they win,
while you're also
they
doing
won't
damage
lose.
to build up your ultimates, you're allowing Relaxing to come that much closer to having God of Mischief and potentially catching a copy onto the invisible boundary itself. So very smart stuff coming on through from Shiki, but Reason yet again, like they're looking like they're adapting fairly quickly to what Shiki have put up against them. The Bucky swap coming on through was working very well at being able to shut down both the Venom and the Daredevil. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Shiki swapping to Iron Fist and shredding
I do not play professionally, chat. I'm just a streamer, man.
Oh,
look at the kills!
Distracted and
Simba and Nocta are the only ones that actually have final hits and kills on Reason Gaming, bro. If you shut down Reason Gaming's DPS, bro, Shikigami wins.
Held it on first on their defense. This was against Team Heretics.
How does he have Lord Dino already? It's a tournament server. They have everything unlocked already.
But it's consistent.
All the lords, all the champions, all the skins. It's a different server, chat.
With all of the roster changes, it's hard to even look at the data if there was any from preseason. But they're going to try and go for this play with the Ultron Nocta up in the sky. Triple Strategist didn't go well for them, but they want to set up Simba on the Elsa to hope to do a little bit more than last time.
Let's see how well this Ultron fares.
I got Lord Dino the day he came out.
Well,
I'm gonna pray to the Lord that you go fucking outside, bro. What?
The rooftop.
Jesus Christ.
Spider Islands provides as additional cover using those drones, just buoying up the defenses of the dive so that Password can hold his position as long as possible.
So far, he's been pretty much unscathed, but the rest of his team, you can see, like, the drones are demanding a lot from him, and he has to watch where this Venom is going to try and focus.
Interesting Ultron
sure
pick.
That his intent, I suppose, of keeping his team alive isn't going to lead with anybody going down, but Kaya, in this engagement against Rosa, the trade-out's working in favor. Nocta being able to switch up to the offensive means that he finds that pick onto Frost Mountain. Great space, and Shikigami losing out these numbers in this way means that they have to disengage. There's not going to be any, like, quick resets. They just have to group up and let this point almost push to the end of first.
I mean, Reason could just play maps, right? Closest one for attack, BRB for relaxing. Any player trade that comes on play for Reason is going to be
10 months, my friend. You're too kind. You're too kind. How you doing?
Truly painful for the Ultron is Frost Mountain swap. Off of the Daredevil, who we saw was going for the Invisible Woman, onto the Star-Lord to be able to take the 1v1 in the sky.
Nice.
Not afraid of those odds in the end. Simba going down though is going to force out that beer back, like you mentioned, allowing Reason Gaming to keep this tempo alive on this attacking side. But now you're looking at ultimates. Rage of Ultron is about to be available for Nocta. You'd imagine that he's going to use it straight away, no matter the occasion. It's not a bad ultimate to be having. But you also have the Apex Predator and a very big drop off on the other side. It's going to pull all these players through right into the Rage of Ultron. It strings together like poetry for Reason Gaming, and Shikigami is starting to lose the numbers and lose first.
Oh, Ultron just recites.
Bro, Shikigami, what are we doing? We have ults, chat. They look like my ranked teammates who just don't use ults and rather just lose the game.
It means that Nocta, safe to use Rage of Ultron against the Star-Lord, knows Galactic Legend won't be there to win the rock, paper, scissors matchup, and Reason are able to very quickly clear through first. Lindstrom is still holding on to Invisible Boundary, but Rashad now has the ultimate to be able to match it, and Reason can force it early with Feast of the Abyss if they can get Passo into the back line.
Frost Mountain's trying to build up that ultimate. He's pushed away from the force physics. It's going to be forced out. It's going to be available literally now with just how often these Invisible Women are able to get this ultimate. But Invisible Boundary is one of the key things.
I keep saying I won't vote with Jan and keep making the same mistake. Bro, I'm right.
Name in his back pocket. He has absolutely shut him up. And the Rampage is now leading Reason to keep this momentum going in a colossal sense. Rampage is going to be trading on both sides of the Devil Dinosaur, and Invisible Boundary from Shikigami is trying to hold on to this defense. Any form of like picks that you can find is going to be major, and Shikigami are using everything that they have to just find something to honor the numbers, but they found very little.
Yeah, Reason go for a combo Cosmic on Amplifier, boosting the damage of Piece of the Abyss. Leila's uses End Song to be able to break it. Rashad, though, still has Invisible Boundary to be able to defend against Frost Mountain's Galactic Legend, so Reason can hold that position on the objective while still putting pressure on Shiki Squishies, forcing Frost Mountain to have to deal with the Venom as opposed to getting on top of the Ultron, who's about to hit his ult again.
He's pulled people in, but there's no eliminations or ultimate to actually try to turn these CC'd enemies into picks. The rate of Ultron a little bit later on, but you've unfortunately lost Rashid.
I would say that I'm very happy with that pick, but I'm not.
To potentially trade it.
For somehow they're gonna like lose this team fight. That's what's been going on. Actually, they're winning finally.
And Lindstrom actually finds a pick, but they're trouble up against
2.5 minutes though. 2.5 minutes, man.
They were building up the momentum so nicely.
Yo, one Rondo. Appreciate the massive gifted sub.
How well does the Ultron do now that the Star-Lord has enough proximity to be able to get on top of you and look for the
Why does Reason not use Black Cat when it's open? Do they have a Black Cat player?
At some point, as Frost Mountain yet again sees that he isn't tasked with keeping on top of Ultron.
I think they're not playing Black Cat because Star-Lord and...
who's gone all the way behind Shiki and put pressure
on
the objective to Reason the space to be able to
Star-Lord and Rocket team up, and also, I don't know if Simba does play...
As Frost Mountain right click into Blaster Barrage.
I don't know if Simba plays Black Cat, so he's usually the hit scan player now.
It's weird to just see the fight happening on the ground like it was more of a barb roll on the streets of Spider Islands, I guess, but it is Frost Mountain Star-Lord that wins out in the end. Reason Gaming not trying to back off, instead of going fully loaded in with a Feast of the Abyss followed by the Ion Amplifier. There's the combination. Leilas wants to try to get as many of these deployables out of range for Reason Gaming to use as possible, and there seems to be no more eliminations coming in on the side of Reason Gaming. They're sort of awkwardly trying to disengage with like more than a minute on the clock. Reason like, we have some good ultimates. We just need to make sure that we don't build up Shikis now.
Yeah, I mean, this is
just
a
one minute.
good countermeasures.
Nocta is the hit scan guy. Well, Simba was playing the Phoenix. And now he's playing
have no good answer to it
the Elsa. Are you sure he's the hit scan guy? Or are both of these guys hit scan?
Which is why we're seeing Rashad being very cautious, wanting to get into a good position to use.
No, Simba was playing Daredevil.
Front line as opposed to fully situated on his back line. So Reason still have a little bit of forward space to be able to make a play off of, with Buddy Barrier from Rosa moving the team forward and Nocta getting into a position to use Galactic Legend. Calf gets the Kumeho Unleashed online just in time though, which means that this should not be finding eliminations unless someone's out of position.
Now it's no trades happening for the Galactic Legends. The Strategist Ultimates were used and built just in time. We've got another
nice save.
Kai this time to keep the sustain going through the rampage that is Rosa the Dinosaur. And Nocta now just on the ground, see if he can just lead some eliminations, because for Reason again, it seems that it started to dry up a little bit.
Oh, she tried to release, but she died. Damn.
Hold on and contest.
Nice. Come on, Shikigami. Tie this up. Tie this up. Tie this up.
But overtime has been reached and hit. Nocta has to find something. He's way off of having that Galactic Legend again on his side, whereas Leilas has
Rocket
the Ensong Inferno, and there's now a portal required. Attack aside for Reason Gaming, unless we go to a map 3, they want to try to push this all the way to the ends of Spider Islands. Ensong
nice!
blocked in the end as Relaxing Sky is going to
use
come
nice
down to the
and
ground.
lived nice.
You've got Reason Gaming able to at least touch with the portal, but
and the support
just have too much to deal with.
I want everyone that was doubting me to say sorry to me right now, bro. I told you guys it's a best of 3. It's not over till it's over, bro.
And we go to a full 3-map series between these two to finally see
great series so far, man. Great series. Great series.
Who will buckle and take their first defeat in Group B.
You can still be wrong, Jay. I've never been wrong in my life. I have never been wrong a day in my life. I don't think you guys could even find anything about me being wrong. Also, I like that name. Instead of calling me J3 chat, call me Trust3. You just gotta trust me. And no, not the Navi player. You gotta trust me, chat. Also, I noticed something. They're showing us a lot more replays and everything other than like the music. Have you noticed, guys? Have you guys noticed that? They're not like playing a lot of the Luna Snow music, even though I like that Luna Snow song. You like the Luna Snow song? Yeah, I listened to it like 5,000 times. I think they played the Luna Snow song so much that like it's I'm just like now brainwashed to like it.
And the meta footprint that Devil Dinosaurs left us has settled somewhat. So according to the data, what are the teams discovering? We have to talk about what stayed the same, and the top two kings of the meta are still exactly the same. Gambit is pretty much the priority when it comes to a first ban. We don't get to see him. I think we've spoken about him enough. We all know why. And Devil Dinosaur is...
I'm pretty sure it's also on Spotify as well.
Devil Dinosaur the stats sort of line up that if you have Devil Dinosaur and the other team does not, you have a pretty decent...
No, after this game we have... Sorry, I'm looking at everything. After this game, we have Navi against Lions, and then we have to wait till 6 o'clock, chat. We have to wait till 6 o'clock for the NA games. Damn. Damn, okay. SW, I'm guessing that means... Oh, Scarlet Witch gets hate because, yes, she has an auto-aim, but also a stun that is annoying AF. Oh, wait, no, sorry. The question right here that goes to it first. Is it weird that Scarlet Witch gets hate for having one ability that has auto-aim, but there's Namor and Star-Lord who have auto-aim abilities too? Well, Star-Lord's auto-aim is his ultimate ability, which is not all the time, and also Namor's squids have auto-aim, and you could kill the squids. Scarlet Witch has auto-aim literally 24/7 because that's literally her main weapon. Star-Lord's E is not auto-aim, chat. It's an AoE ability. If you are standing at your spawn 5,000 feet away from me and I hit my E, it is not going to hit you because it does not have auto-aim.
The amplifier is an ultimate for just damage boost for everybody is a key thing to win out some of these long drawn-out fights where there's so much to say.
I think, and then what? Oh wait, someone says, okay, Scarlet Witch gets hate because yes, she has an auto-aim, but in a stun that's annoying AF. She shouldn't have as much damage as she does for holding down mouse 1.
Priority, but also a ban priority too. And his win rate when one team gets him and the other one doesn't is pretty high. One of the highest that we've seen. Like almost 2/3 of the time high. So yeah, he's good.
To be honest with you, I really don't hate Scarlet Witch. Like, if the other team has a Scarlet Witch, I don't get mad. The only time I ever get mad at a Scarlet Witch is that if they're on my team. Yeah, I mean, I would... Don't play Scarlet Witch on my team.
Is a great way to actually find eliminations in high sustain, and he just synergizes really well with Phoenix, has pretty much become one of the major options for a duelist outside of Star-Lord. Now the Elsa's sort of fallen out of the fray. And because these two have shot up in popularity, some of the other options...
Who's playing NA today? Type !MRI if you want to see it, but it's NRG against Swamp Gaming, FlyQuest against Sentinels, and Space Station against Team Liquid Citadel.
Seen teams nearly spend as much like capital guaranteeing access to her. A protect cost...
She barely has any damage with her primary fire, and her damage is her right click.
One-sided if we can. That hasn't really worked.
Bro, is this like a Scarlet Witch one trick that's trying to get like Scarlet Witch like buffed in my chat or something? What do you want Scarlet Witch to do? Like 200 damage a second with her auto aim ability? Like what?
It just seems that teams are still playing her, but they're like,
there are going to be characters in video games, chat, and this is just how it is. There are going to be characters in a video game that are going to be very how should I say this? Very friendly to new beginning players. And that way they can play these characters and get value. But if you want to go to the other characters and to get more value, you're going to have to learn probably how to aim and, you know, do all that other stuff.
A good chunk, as Ultron, who isn't seen half as much as before. Not because they're objectively worse characters, it's just because Rocket and Jean Grey...
How about Squirrel Girl one-shot 110? So, like I said, chat, Squirrel Girl cannot one-shot you. You just said she does 110 damage. I don't think there's any character in Marvel Rivals that has 110 HP. So no, she does not one-shot. Bro, that's what I don't understand, man. Have you guys seen that clip of someone saying, oh my god, Devil Dinosaur has this one-shot ability, he's a broken character, and they fucking like recycle 5 times their abilities in like 30 seconds, and they're like, wow, one-shot. That's not a one-shot, chat.
Spider Islands goes over to Shikigami.
Like,
this, the series we were extremely excited about, is already sitting at 1-1. We get a very rare EMEA Game 3, but what a turnaround performance. We also saw the surprise appearance from Iron Fist. What a delightful day of seeing Iron Fist and Squirrel Girl and Black Panther all appearing in our games today. But overall, this was, while the defense from Reason looked really solid, it was Shikigami's defense on that second point, Moxie, that really seemed to lock it down.
Yeah, Endsong Inferno into every Cosmic Yawn Amplifier is rough. And
it doesn't matter if they require Phoenix aim or Scarlet auto aim. All characters need to perform at roughly the same baseline. Not true at all.
As an attacking team to be able to make your
but go off.
And Ryan, we're gonna have a look at our
you
MVP
think
here,
you should be rewarded for you're saying that you should be on par with someone who actually has really good aim and is hitting their shots with a character who just looks in the general direction of an enemy, and they should be doing the same damage as a Phoenix. No, what? That doesn't even. What? Yo, I am so glad that, like, you know, Marvel Rivals does not listen to you guys when they come to balancing, because you guys would kill this game very fast.
Have you got the ability to out-sustain stuff like a Galactic Legend? I don't know,
bro. You guys are like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but those drugs, they're pretty good
on that defensive side when so many other teams will just run out of steam.
And we should bring that up. Kath is actually a new player to this roster. Name was the strategist originally, but is unavailable for this stage. So Kath has come on in and has fit perfectly into this composition.
Yeah, fitted seamlessly in, and I think that's always a worry when you try to slot a new strategist in, right? Because you have to work on your trust with the team, you have to work on your comms, potentially as well you've lost one of your main focuses of ult tracking, which can always be very rough for teams to then have to adapt around, because ultimate's
30
such
and
a
3
huge part
with a
of
58% accuracy
play, but also the whole teams. Like, you've seen multiple times chain reactions. One ultimate sets off what, 5 more in response in these brawl fests.
Fact is, though, these defensive ultimates were extremely effective. The triple strategist we've been
Should I go study for my calc midterm tomorrow, or should I gamble my points here?
But now
gamble, bro.
Gaming's map choice, and we're pretty used to seeing
gambling is a lot better than education, chat.
To this convergence map, but there are still other options. We've all been sitting there.
If you fail a class
in the break, we're all sitting saying
you can always retake it.
A trick strategy or something that you've prepared on.
If you gamble,
no one else has played it. What are the odds they have been preparing stuff on it?
And lose, you can never gamble again. So you see what I'm talking about?
Now would be the time, especially in such an important matchup, right?
Yeah, we've seen Shikigami be very comfortable on a lot of like these convergence maps. That's why the Spider Islands was like an inspired choice, because it stops Reason Gaming from going over towards like the likes of like Museum, which they've picked a couple of times, but also like they've had decent mid-towns in the past. They've had decent like Yggdrasils and stuff.
You should play gambling with your friends. Oh, I don't like the only gambling I do is channel points, chat.
Losing against Team
I do not like gambling.
Everybody can play it. Can be really uncomfortable. Central.
Remember, the house always wins, chat.
It's been
the house
decent,
always wins.
You know that teams are prepared on it. Heart of Heaven, maybe. Shin Shibuya, maybe. Plus if you're crazy. Manhattan, maybe. Plus if you're crazy. Plus if you want to make it fun. Because yeah, Manhattan is just such a hard map, and Convergence seems to have basically just monogamized into one map choice, which is Jalia or Central Park right now.
Well, you can't really go Central Park because Shikigami in preseason were like undefeated on that map. They were so good at playing Central Park and full holding. They full held Na'Vi on that map with Ultron Torch.
Oh,
here it is. We are going to...
Come on, Lower Manhattan.
Lower Manhattan! We're going to the new map!
Let's go, Reason!
I like
Reason
that.
have decided
Okay.
with they're not their life on the line, there's still a solid chance they go through playoffs. Like, this is the time to get a higher seed, and if you have something prepared, now is the time. For the first time in EMEA history, we are going to Lower Manhattan, and I am not going to waste any of your time. We're going to get into that draft as soon as possible. We've got Moxie and Ryan Central bringing you all the action.
That's awesome. I like Lower Manhattan.
That you want to see
I just don't like the standout chat.
That is what NetEase have given us with this map, and I'm content with it. He's sitting over there somewhere. There he is. Not quite the same one, but he's still here. He's still with us.
Oh my God!
He's moving along Manhattan for the first time in EMEA. But I don't know
I
how much of the
want a
draft will see
statue.
differently, other than the priority of making sure that either both teams have Jean Grey or neither team have Jean Grey.
Mantis, second ban, so that's already very different compared to what we've seen. Reason now likely going to have to match the Mantis ban, and yeah, I think we're both going to expect to see a Phoenix ban come through, or Shikigami to go for like the save on the Mantis, potentially the save on the Phoenix, so they can guarantee get that one, as that has been the difference maker, right? One team having Phoenix has been the thing that's allowed them to win both of these series, so in the mirror ban,
I think she needs a new mic.
It's the Jean Grey, which means new strategies for both teams.
So looking at like the bands that have already come
no, it's
in,
not even
like,
it's not even her mic.
Get the Mantis
it's
just
bro.
It's
both
Luna
casters
here as well to make sure that that's not going to be banned out at the end, or you can make sure that you have your own rocket at this point. So maybe some of the other options like Loki, like you can also just take out some like I don't know, other options for Reason Gaming if you want to make sure that they don't have that too much, but maybe even Star-Lord, because it seems to be duelists across the board for Reason Gaming to get out.
This is my first time watching a tournament. What's the difference between this and ranked? The ban phase is different, and second of all, these are actually teams trying to win. That's the biggest difference between your ranked games and this tournament. You have no throwers. Also, it is for money.
And remove the Daredevil instead.
And the biggest thing I would say is the ban phase. So for an example, if you guys are new to watching a tournament chat, the reason that you guys are seeing this team ban Star-Lord, for an example, and this team ban... I'm gonna pause it real quick. The reason that the bans are a little different is because you're banning for the other team, but you're saving for your team. So for an example, this team banned Black Cat. So that means Shikigami cannot play Black Cat. And this team, they both have the same ban saves, but this team saved the Devil Dinosaur. That means the other team cannot ban Devil Dinosaur. You cannot ban a character that's been saved. So just because, like, for an example, you ban Black Cat, the other team can't play Black Cat, but you can still play Black Cat yourself. And if you save, let's say, Devil Dinosaur, and they wanted to ban Devil Dinosaur, they cannot ban a character that you saved. Also, you cannot save a character that's already been banned. It prevents like your mirror matchups. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched like Overwatch back in like Overwatch League or the Overwatch days. There used to be a lot of like mirror matchups, and it used to be very boring to watch. Like, oh, who could run the best same comp? Oh, this makes it a little bit more fun to watch, in my opinion, which I've been enjoying it.
Combos, or if that's too costly an ultimate investment, use one for Strategist ultimate. And
yeah, like I couldn't get into. I mean, I wish I could have gotten into the Overwatch esports, but they went to YouTube, and you couldn't watch it on YouTube because if you did, they would copyright strike you and ban you. So that was very interesting.
They're just going to try and break open the front door.
Yeah, just there's almost the heist approach, but then there's a route one approach to also trying to break down these front doors. It's not really allowing any space for Shikigami.
Hey Google, turn on my office light.
Neutral when you have the Star-Lord and the Elsa together, but the point is pretty much being stormed under, as it's almost like a Black Friday sale for Reason Gaming, as they found themselves onto this objective. They found themselves the first pick onto a Seedor that doesn't really know what to do with the faces that are in front of him, and Reason Gaming have come through the traps at blistering pace. Fear Back is going to be forced out at the very least, but it's still going to lead to to Aceto going down again.
Yeah, what a bite from Passalo. Takes a chunk out of
yo, Shikigami, I'm gonna need you guys to lock it in here, bro.
Out of line of sight of his team, and Rosa is just getting work done with the walls. Bubble barrier comes on out again to block off line of sight from Shiki's players.
Simba has been disgusting on DPS, man.
Reason can get the picks through as fast as possible and move their way.
They gotta shut down Simba, bro. Simba's too much of a problem.
Moving on through now for Reason Gaming. This first point very cleanly dealt with, and for compositional changes, Smile. I mean, I don't know if Shikigami are going to have the time to look at Smiling. They're going to change up their comp a little bit as Kai's moved over towards that Venom.
Yeah, Shiki, you said, going to be moving Kaya onto the Venom. They thought about going for a Moon Knight approach of how stacked up Reason have been, especially playing off of relaxing on that Loki. But now we have Cosmic Cone Amplifiers.
You know what, chat?
Not holding back. They're always going first. Shiki will try to
Shikigami.
We've got Kaya trying to just sort out the objective. So this is not free push, and crucially,
Simba's a problem, bro. I don't know, man.
Back with Galactic Legend.
Oh, okay. He canceled his swing.
Tricky for Kaya to get out as the Master Hunter.
Wow, that guy's not dead. He just pounded him with damage and he walked away, bro.
Were forced out and have actually lost out on their own Vanguard with the Devil Dinosaur. Strangle Prison going to be used from Rosa, but it doesn't seem to have really culminated into many of Shikigami being grouped up in the
Simba's
end.
a problem, man.
I've got the copy coming over for 1 Yarn Amplified. It's going to be matched by the OG for Shikigami on the other side. These ultimates, it's almost feeling like that domination map at the start of this series, Moxie all over again with the sustain. And getting all of this information, it's going to be neat for Simba to find the right picks. He knows who to focus on.
Oh, he's looking for that Apex Predator. If they can get the wall off after the Glatrox carries people out, they can block line of sight of Rintrum's ult, but it's Frost Mountain.
Nice.
Line of sight from at the moment. Galactic Legend comes through, cutting down 2, only 1.
Oh, split! That person was split. I'm surprised they're not pushing him.
Push back when they know that Galactic Legend's done, trying to clear up into this high ground position and brute force Frost Mountain away.
We've got Nocta moving over towards the Wolverine. We've seen very little of him, and it's actually Shikigami that are more struggling with the melee options, but still sticking on to this composition outside of switching over towards the Venom. Apex Predator, there's so much to choose for Simba, but he's going to go and take out the Venom off the back of the, Beast of the Abyss, but he's able to still get out. They find so little for it other than the fate of both worlds that's going to allow Shikigami to go in for the counterattack. Rosa goes down in the process, and at least a trade over to that Vanguard that they were aiming for to begin with. Simba tries to find the elimination onto Frost Mountain and does. He makes sure that he's shoved into the shop and told that it's basically closing out.
Oh my god, that guy got fucking deleted, chat.
Over for them as they're throwing out whatever they can afford to expend. Layerless now switching over, see if he can find a pick on
this is just no. They gotta. Like I said, chat. They gotta shut down Simba, bro.
Locked up for them with their choices. Reason, get things going, Moxie and Shikigami, making adjustments again.
Yeah,
where's Scar at? Shikigami needs Scar.
Look at him. He's tracking Kaya's position. He wants to go for the counter grab if the Venom shows up, which means that Kaya can't go for the disruption play of trying to bait out things like that regeneration domain. Glatrox comes on through from Leolaz, and Shiki have all of the lineups.
Nice.
Reason find themselves pushed back to spawn yet again, but you better believe that Shiki will try to find more, catching Reasons disengage and draining them of the time that they lack stalling out first.
Yeah, Reason.
No one's. I feel like Simba's the biggest problem. No one's shooting Simba. Yeah.
Catalyzing the damage.
He was the biggest problem on the first map too.
Potentially, Shikigami.
If you take Simba out of the game, I think Reason falls down.
There's so many straight lines that you can pull these Apex Predators in and out of clear sight for the strategists to keep alive. The whilst Reason Gaming were looking to set up with some ult advantages, they've all just been sent back into the neutral, and this could be costly for them on this attacking side.
I mean, Reason just have zero space to be able to work with to actually use that ultimate advantage. Relaxing will be coming on through with
this Wolverine player needs to swap. No, he doesn't. Leave him on Wolverine, bro. It's fine.
Percentages of your opponents, she can decide if they want to hold up close, bait an ultimate and kite, or if they want to go first and try to match Reason's aggression. But they do have to know Reason have more ultimates to be able to play with. Regeneration domains already forced very early, which signifies Relaxing wants to be able to go for a very early copy. Cap uses Cosmic Cone Amplifier to boost up the damage of Galactic Legend, but Reason just huddle, taking shelter in the stalls to cut line of sight from Star-Lord and actually map flip.
Yeah, managed to actually get themselves around, so Shikigami need to try and reposture here. Feast of the Abyss means that they're going to try and fight in this concentrated area a little bit more in the shop doors. The Strangled Prison might make this a little bit more uncomfortable. He might need to sort of social
They have
distance
to play
a little
spread,
bit more
play
at
spread,
this
play
rate
spread,
if
play
you're
spread, play
Shikigami,
spread, play
as
spread,
this
play
ultimate
spread.
is looking to find the pick. Last stand finally going to be used from
Oh,
Nocta.
Nocta got
Finds
2
himself
people,
2.
chat. You guys
So
wanted him to
that's
swap, but he
key
got
for
2.
Shikigami as it's starting to all flounder. Fate of both worlds, maybe just trying to keep people going for the time being, but they lose Layerless as Simba finds a bit of revenge just before the Apex Predator was available on this defense. Simba's got his own Strangler Prison now. Doesn't look like he's able to get much. It's just pulled people off the objective whilst this fight is looking very split for Reason Gaming. Kaya's used this to his advantage and
Oh,
found an
Simba's
opening,
dead.
but
Simba's
it is
dead.
gonna
They
be
can win
traded.
this. They can win
Now
this.
it's going to be the
Come on,
Apex Predator
Shiki,
that
come
found so
on.
much from Layerless. It seems to have
Come
found
on,
a little bit more of
Shikigami.
Reason Gaming, despite looking like they were going to win the engagement, and found themselves on the back foot as Shikigami have riposted their way into a grand old fight. No ultimates to rely on in the end, and Simba was hoping for that perfect scenario where everybody can line up. He's going to throw it out in all hopes, and it's a great combination actually from the Feast of the Abyss.
Yes!
To find the eliminations onto the backline. It
Yes!
seems to be clean up. There's no chance for a portal, and Manhattan is saved for the second checkpoint at least.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Rosa uses
god,
the
please,
Strangling
Shikigami,
Prison
please
to intercept
win.
the path
This is
of
such a great
Shiki's
series.
Dino
I'm
Rampage.
proud of both teams,
So
chat,
that
but I
they
just want
can
Shikigami to win
stop
because I
Easter
voted for
getting on
them
top of
winning,
the
and I
team
just
with
want to
all of the
say
damage, all of
I
the
want to hold up a
which when you
big
combine
L
that
to all the
with
people who
Layla's
weren't
ult
believing
would
in
have
me
been
on these
absolutely
channel points.
brutal. The problem is that the Elsa ult still goes through.
Yeah,
Reason
I
still
think
lose their players. They're not able to come through
Simba
the portal in
is
time,
going
so the
crazy
regroup is
right now, man.
thin and very
That guy-
slow in
that guy is a
comparison to
really
Shiki,
good
who just
player.
funnel players back into the fight, especially with Kaya still being up and putting
You know what
so
Simba
much
reminds
pressure
me
on
of,
Reason's
chat?
back line. Now that the overtime
Like,
situation
he's been
depleted
dominating,
the attention
like,
of being
these
able to
games.
turn
He
towards
reminds
Venom
me
and
of
clear
me.
him out.
So Shikigami
He's
might be able to
14
pull
and 2
this
with 8
one
final
back.
hits
They've
and
drawn the line on this
17,000 damage.
defense, and I think ultimately, Moxie, it's like how
Leola's
good
is
this defense gonna be for
19 and
Reason,
3,
because it
but
felt
with 4
pretty
final
quickly
hits
on
and
the side of Shikigami
14,000
on that
damage.
first point.
Well, Shiki will have the confidence
Frost
of
Mountain
being
has
able
7
to play
final hits.
Moon
Frost
Knight
Mountain's
if
popping
they
off.
scout
He's 12 and
out this
3.
Loki. Potentially, you do just like want to walk forward, scout the composition Reason are on, walk back to spawn without
It's a baby
losing a
boy,
fight
it's
to
a
allow
baby
Reason to
boy.
start pushing those ultimate economies ahead of you.
You're such a
As
pretty cat.
Shiki have a couple of
Who are you
options
looking at?
available.
There's
They
no
could
one
go
there.
for the Punisher, they could go for the
one
Moon
there.
Knight. They can't go for the Phoenix, that was banned out, and you do feel like it makes a big difference between these two teams. As it looks, outside of the Moon Knight, like we pretty much have a mirror. Lindstrom's still going to be on the Luna, as relaxing on that Loki is going to mean that Frost Mountain is absolutely salivating for the amount
shit.
of damage that he can get off of these onks.
Moon Knight versus Punisher, as duelists were pretty much the name of the game for the draft bans, which means that flexibility is tested. Some of these players we know from Shikigami have got that flexible side to them. Reason Gaming, however,
Their audio
it's a
just
bit
has
of
like
a
these
rough
crackling sounds
debut
the
for
whole
Simba,
day
as
so
his
far. I
Elsa
don't
has
know.
been
Maybe
matched up
NA
by
will
one
be a
of the
little
better
different.
Elsas that we saw in pre-season. Nocta is
yeah, I don't
actually
know,
able
chat.
to build up a good chunk of this like final judgment ult charge, and when you've got a dinosaur in front of you, the stall out is
Hand
the
of
same from
Conchu.
Shikigami. You've built up these ultimates so quickly.
I mean, a Hand of Conchu is already up for Frost Mountain, so Shiki will just use it to be able to divide the Vanguards and the backline. Relaxing has to invest the regeneration domain, but the Hand of Conchu
Yes!
just claw right through the runes, and Shiki still finds picks. Reason are able to bring Rosa back at least with the Battle Recall Beacon, and Rashad still thinks it's winnable. Cosmic Ion Amplifier comes on through, not fully behind cover, so it could potentially be broken early, but he still gets caught on the kite, and Reason now have all of the space to be able to make this disengage hurt.
Relaxing Sky has done such a good job actually to keep that one afloat for
And
his
they
team
got
after
nothing but
losing out.
one tech.
And Khonshu was able to get a couple of picks, but the Beer back worth its weight in gold, as Rocket likes to say with the voice line. Like, it's costly, and Reason have used it well to their advantage. But having a copy of it means that they do have the God of Mischief to go in for
the
Yan
flank.
Amplifier with a final judgment.
Simba's using third-person POV.
Boba!
Not going to run, purely walking, so no sound cues give his position away. He wants to be able to get a surprise Apex Predator catch off when Shiki decides to walk forward, which might split the team from Lindstrom's Fate of Both Worlds. Here comes the Cosmic Ion Amplifier. Reason could go for God of Mischief copy to be able to match, which means Final Judgment should be able to shred through caps. And there's the disengagement coming through from Shiki, but crucially, that's one ult burned on the side of the attack versus 2 for the defense.
Yeah, that was actually a really good play from Shikigami to get some of these big ones out. So it means that this focus is onto Simba again as the Apex Predator has managed to pull out the picks that he wants to get. But he seems to have caught himself into the fray as Shikigami have actually turned the numbers on.
Nice. Ow, shit. Nice. How you doing, Bubba?
To dry as another hand of Khonshu is available from Frost Mountain. Reason Gaming were just out positioned with these ultimates. Have to go for the portal play now for Rosa, and they might just have a chance to stall this out for a little bit longer time-wise.
Cosmic Yawn Amplifier is so close for Rashad. Frost Mountain goes down to Nocta. Reason think that this is winnable. Kaya uses the Sonic Seduction, but the Seraphim Shield from Doctor Strange should be able to shield some of it off, which means that Rashad gets Cosmic Yawn Amplifier through, and Lindstrom has to invest Fate of both worlds for Shiki to get the opportunity to break it. Reason still holding on in the fight for a little bit of time.
Oh, what a grab and a cap, thank God.
Isidore grabbing him up.
Nice.
Into second.
Yo!
But the stall out from Reason depleted Shikigami's entire
Unsalted Salt for 74 months.
Yeah, he's got some switchovers happening.
Appreciate it.
They were very,
I started liking, started buying a lot more
pink
pink shirts.
We need to go for it now. So no changes.
Pretty clean, bro. I started, I don't
know
know why.
Play it out on second here.
When I was younger, I liked dark shirts, like wearing dark colors. But as I'm getting older, I started liking a lot more lighter colors.
But the neutral fight between the dinosaurs is going to be key there as the leaps are coming through right into the streets of Manhattan. But the picks have been found off the back of the amplifier, and Reason Gaming might be scalping a bit more if it wasn't for Nocta finding a perfect pick over on Takaya. It is going to be reset with a be right back, but it does mean that there's at least a chance for these defenders to hold on. Final Judgment, can you pair it with anything? Even if you could, you lose out as Moonlight.
Nice. He's so old, he's already going to the light.
Yeah, it's a crucial pick onto Relaxing. If Loki was still up in the fight, Nocta could potentially use Final Judgment, cared for by the regeneration domain. Reason get one walk at this, but like you said, they don't have Portal, which means that Relaxing is going to hurriedly try to build up God of Mischief so that Nocta has an ultimate careful when they commit Final Judgment. And
come on, man. Come on.
The leaps through as it's going to be Parkov for the Venom, but Reason Gaming have plenty of ultimates to work for themselves, but they've been intercepted. Final Judgment's going to come out from Nocta, but later
oh my God, I can't.
Simba could get his. He switched
oh my God, and they popped the Punisher roll and he just died.
Panic. And now the hand of Khonshu is going to push back these defenders a little bit more. Do you try and touch the stallers? You have to touch. There's only 3 meters left on the board.
Oh,
so
chat, GG's, bro. It's GG's.
Concentrated damage that the attackers are putting through. Shikigami pushed to their limits on a new map with a different style of composition. Seems to have maybe found themselves this third map. If it wasn't for Reason Gaming having the numbers to touch, even Nocta's got over to Spider-Man because that's how much of a clamber it is. It is his city after all, and it's his neighborhood that he wants to try and protect. You just don't expect to see him here in the fray or find the pick in the end as he actually takes down Lynch.
Oh, she got respawned! Oh my God, if I was that Spider-Man, bro, I'm punching my monitor.
Kingpin, and he's still trying to leap into touch as everybody else from Shikigami's going down.
Oh
Spider-Man can't do too much.
God.
Nobody else is able to really touch for Reason, and this might be where the payload reaches its end. Everybody's gone down. The rampage has ended it, and Shikigami find themselves this third map win and potential playoffs.
Oh my God. Hold up, chat. I want to show you guys something real quick.
For Shikigami, like the early pick onto Relaxing to delay Final Judgment.
Oh, that's another one I got right. I am 2 for 2, and my favorite thing about tournament days is this.
So well with that. Everyone picked
oh
up
my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It truly would have been judge, jury, executioner. But Shikigami.
Hold on, I gotta turn them down because I have to do my favorite thing here that we started doing. The board of shame. Who lost channel points? MP lost 250,000 channel points. Yetski with another 250K.